Oh, hello. We're
Hello.
live.
Hi,
I'm Kelsey,
I'm Todd.
and this is On
On
Location.
location. And we are on location at Kamloops Maker Space.
Yeah. Makerspace is a space where you could
Make.
make various things, from pottery to wood making to stencil making to electronics. Yeah.
And maybe even friends.
Can you make snacks?
We're getting there.
I'm not that hungry anymore, so I'm okay. Yeah, so there's a few people here. This is actually a volunteer-run business, right? And your name is?
My name is Bailey. I am the current president of the Kamloops Maker Space. I've been a member for about 4 years now, maybe three and a half. And I got involved because I wanted to learn woodworking at the space.
Okay. Why woodworking? Did you want to make something specific, like a birdhouse?
So I had just moved back to Kamloops after living away, and so I moved into a new apartment. I didn't have any furniture, and this was in the middle of COVID, so I was like, well, this is a great time to pick up a new hobby as well, and maybe get a chance to like meet some people in a in a way that you can during COVID when I just moved back to Kamloops.
Bond over common interests?
Yeah, exactly. And so the first thing I made was a desk, and actually the person who mentored me building that desk ended up being my partner, who we've been together since just shortly after I joined the Makerspace.
This person?
This person.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was trying to guess.
Yeah.
Because
Maybe you can make more than friends.
We've had about 6 couples meet here.
Wow.
Oh, really? Damn, I'm going to join then.
Yeah.
That's very cool. That is very impressive that you make your own furniture, because there's so much not very good stuff out there. You know, like real wood, hard wood.
Real wood. And
Nice.
it's cool because you can make it custom size too, or
Exactly.
whatever you want. You don't have to compromise.
Yeah. Oh, very neat. And what do you do?
I'm a bit of a jack of all trades.
Yeah.
I dabble in electronics, woodworking, metalworking, robotics, and pretty sewing, everything in between.
I think you were just showing me something that you made. Not like, is this what you were talking about? Robotics?
Well, that would be along the lines of robotics.
Okay.
But we do like sumo robots, or making 3D printers, or building just general purpose robots. I could probably have it out a little bit later, but I do have Overkill around. It's an RC robot that's a lot of fun to play with.
It was a huge hit at our grand opening too.
I've never met a person that made robots. That's super neat. Do you have robot battles?
I think we did use Overkill in that capacity a couple times. I've done some BattleBot stuff, but not in a very long time. It's not really popular like it used to be.
Huh. Yeah, there was a show. So Todd, he can follow us around the shop. Can we have a tour?
Go for it.
Oh, I'm doing it. Okay.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Well, we'll start with the one thing that I really don't do.
This is the clay space.
This is the clay space. I'm just constantly blown away by the caliber of some of the work that our members do here. But the really cool thing about the Makerspace is it's about amateurs. It's really amateur first. We have some very professional people that have been doing stuff a long time, but we're really about people coming here and having access to their first foray into that. And then often that excites a lot of the more experienced members to mentor them and share their skills. And that's one of the really neat things about this space. So, because we're not a clay space, like as an organization, you'll have maybe somebody who's more into woodworking come in and go, hey, this is how I can integrate clay into my stuff.
Yeah.
Or somebody who's typically more of a ceramics person might go, hey, that lathe looks really cool in the woodworking shop. I want to learn how to do that. So we're really about the cross-pollination of skills.
Yeah, I love that. Collaborating with other artists and learning from other people. And
for a lot of people, making the makerspace is their hobby. I was the co-founder of the space about 8 years ago.
Okay.
And for a lot of us, I always joked I made a makerspace. I stopped making things. So a lot of it is, building out everything you see here, every piece of furniture, every system, every airline. It's all done by volunteer makers who, that's as much of the hobby as anything else.
Yeah.
Like getting our kiln set up
Right.
here and vented and everything else.
Okay, I'm just taking it all in. To be honest, I didn't know that there was a makerspace here already. I am from Kamloops, but I just oh hey, you're
Well,
ready.
yeah.
You're back. So this is a new location. Where were you guys before?
So, funny enough, this is actually the first location that Aras, the other founder, and I were looking at. We did a couple of
you
years.
came back.
Yeah, we came back. So what happened is we were looking at this space, and then a space at the old federal building at 204 Victoria Street West opened up for 6 months for free, and then they just stepped us up as big supporters of the space toward a higher rent. But they were really instrumental in us getting started. So we spent 8 years at that location, but it is an old building with the original boilers and a tough neighborhood and a lot of different challenges, a lot of stairs.
Right,
A lot of
yeah.
stairs.
Oh.
Our wood shop was on the second floor. This was on the third floor. Getting it up there was a lot of fun.
I bet getting it down was just as much fun, probably.
It was. It came into pieces,
Yeah.
fortunately.
How do you get the equipment for all this? It doesn't come out of your own pocket, I hope.
So when we started, a lot of it did. Myself and the other founding members, we started paying a membership at $100 a month long before, about 2 years
Wow.
before there was a space. So we used a lot of that funding to get set up. And then we've had a ton of very generous donations.
From?
Both corporate sponsors, our members, people from the general community, people from other communities. The maker movement is actually around the world. So when we were saying, hey, we want to get this started, and we reached out to other maker spaces, they're like, oh, well, here's a soldering iron, and here's a 3D printer, and they shipped us some care packages, and that was really how we got going. But a lot of it is, hey, I've upgraded my tool, I'll donate it here. Or we just say, hey, we want to see this, and we reach out to all our members and be like, who wants to throw $100 in? And you can really quickly, when you work as a group like that, pay for an expensive tool. And then a lot of just general donations. Somebody had a wheel sitting in their house for years, and they don't really do clay anymore, so they donate their wheels here, and various tools have come around that way.
What's that? What's this one?
That's a wheel as well. It's
Oh.
just got a stool sitting on top. This is a stool made by one of our former members on our CNC router.
Cool.
Very cool.
And if you look at it, that's actually our K and our M that makes up the
Oh
legs.
my God, you guys.
Very nice.
Such
design.
artists. Huh. So when you were younger, what sort of things did you get into? Were you always a maker?
I think I was, and actually, my mom happens to be the treasurer at the Maker Space currently,
really?
and she's here today.
Oh, that's fun.
You'll get to talk to her. Sue, she came into the space in our second year. It was, what's this crazy thing my son is doing? And she looked around and went, if this existed when you were a kid, it would have saved all of our household appliances. Because I think a lot of us just start as that kid with a screwdriver who wants to know how everything works. And that's how I got into it, was just tinkering and discovering. And that's really what we're about, is exploration.
Yeah. Yeah. Todd and I are artists, right? Yeah. You paint. Yeah, you paint.
I do.
You paint and you write. I make. I like to make. I'm going to join.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, I already know I am. How do I join?
So typically coming on a Wednesday night, like tonight, is the time to really discover what the space is about and what the community is about. We are a nonprofit and we're 100% volunteer run. So there is kind of an expectation on all our members to keep us going. So
Right.
If you go on our website, you would sign up there, and then you have 3 months to kind of show that you get the space. So typically that means a little bit of cleaning and maybe coming to one of our members' meetings.
You got to respect the space.
Exactly, because it is run 100% by our members. So our members all have kind of a sense of ownership of it, which is
Yeah.
a really unique space. It's kind of like having your own shop. You just share it with a lot of people.
So where does the money come in? Am I going to pay?
So it is $80 a month or
Okay.
$100 for a family.
Okay.
Sorry, $110 for a family.
The first 3 months are just kind of
They're just, so what happens at the end of 3 months is you get 3 members to say, hey, this person fits in really good here. We vouch for them. Because we figure if you can't get 3 people to say anything nice about you after 3 months, you're probably not going to be a good fit here. But the idea is that when people do get voted in, they'll almost never get voted down. If there is any issues in that 3 months, the idea is that we talk to the individual and we say, okay, this is what our culture and our community.
You have stinky farts, you can't be here.
Yeah, maybe shower. We are an organization that was started, by nerds for nerds, and I have had the shower conversation with people before. So it is the nature. About a third of our membership is neuroatypical. I got diagnosed with autism after starting the Makerspace. So, we are a community of people who think differently. So we really want to make sure that people are comfortable and work in that organization.
And it's mutually welcoming, kind of.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, it's nice that you share that.
It's something that I was able to discover because of the Makerspace, and that's a really neat thing. That I was always this way, but then I got to be around more people like me, and hey.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, little off topic, I have ADHD, so with all the struggles that come with it, I'm also proud of the creativity that I have from it.
And that's really, I'd say that's one of the most common conditions, for lack of a better word, at the Makerspace is ADHD. And as you look around, you see all this stuff, and the fact it's a very kind of organization.
I was going to say, but it's organized.
That comes with a lot of work.
Yes, it does. We have to train ourselves. You put it away, don't put it down, you put it away.
Yeah, and I'm afflicted with ADHD as well, so it's trying to build a culture where everything is kind of, one thing we really focus on here is actually first order retrievability. So you'll see there's not very many drawers here, and almost everything to put something away, you can just put it away. There's almost never a second function that you have to perform to clean something or put something away. So you'll notice all of our cleaning supplies are out and accessible. Yeah. All of our shelves are open. Most of our bins don't even have lids unless they need them.
Yeah, very user friendly.
And that's really what we're focusing on. The cool thing about this space versus our old space is our old space was an old federal building with a lot of different rooms and stairs. So we actually had to fit the space.
Right.
Well, we started out with an open room here, so we got a building that fit us. So we were able to make everything fit our needs. So it's a much smaller space, but I think it is so much more practical and so much more
better flow to it.
Yeah, it's really great that way.
Cool. Okay, let's go to the next room. So do you ever have instructors here?
We used to do a lot of workshops since COVID. We haven't really gotten back into it. We're kind of hoping as we get built out in the new space, because it has been quite a process, that we will see more of that come back.
Yep.
But the really cool thing about our workshops is they're kind of taught by amateurs for amateurs. I love to say when we were starting the first Makerspace, I did a workshop, and we did a variety of workshops to raise interest in it. And I taught one on making chainmail, like medieval armor.
Oh.
And I was just doing chainmail jewelry, and a guy showed up to the Makerspace called Chainmail Dave, and he's forgotten more about the subject than I would ever know. And he showed up to my workshop, and he ended up helping teach it because he did it slightly different than I did, so we were able to work with each other.
And he learned from you as well as you learned from him.
Yeah, or more like the students, like half would learn his way and half would learn my way, so we were able to kind of co-teach it a little bit.
But that kind of tells you that there isn't just one way to do things.
And, if there's another way to do something at the space, especially an overcomplicated one, we'll find it here.
Can we show off the decorations? Because it looks like someone's birthday party.
So this was from our grand opening that we had a couple weeks ago.
Oops, sorry. Community, create, invent, make. I can't read that word. I don't know what that says. Teach. Learn.
You got it finally.
I got it. And they have first aid because you're gonna hurt yourself, right?
Hopefully not. But speaking of our grand opening and potentially hurting yourself, we did a really unique ribbon cutting using that in the corner.
Can we turn on a light? What are we looking at?
I don't think we have a light in there, but that was our detonator box.
Oh my God.
That lit our ribbon on fire. And that's how we did our ribbon
On purpose?
cutting. Yes.
No, it was just supposed to gently cut it. The fire was unintentional, but it looked pretty cool.
There was a couple people who were supposed to push down the box with me, but when it came to that time, I looked behind me and there was actually no one beside me. They had taken a fair few steps back.
Yeah, that's funny. Their survival skills kicked in.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I want to keep looking. Okay, so there's buttons,
Yeah, this is like our little
sewing. No,
our
take
little
over.
sewing station. So we've got collections of little things here to make it like a good grab and go station for sewing, embroidery. We've got a serger too, and then this larger space that we're in is called the Hackatorium.
Well, that sounds like you murder people.
No, not quite, just projects.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
Hackatorium.
Yeah. So people can kind of flex out when they're working on projects onto the tables and stuff here.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You got comfy chairs. What are these tools? This looks like a metal lathe.
A bandsaw that has recently escaped our industrial arts room. I don't know how it ended up out here, but it's not usually where it lives. And then behind it is our Versacam vinyl plotter. So this can both print and cut.
Cool.
So it will do cutouts like our logo here. It'll also print on vinyl and make like a shaped sticker. We can also do banners or print on paper with it.
What's this material?
That's the vinyl itself.
That's vinyl.
So basically it's got a robotic knife that will cut that out, and then we pick out all of the spaces between it and make stickers. So it's really nice for pre-masking paint as well if you want to put a shape on something and then pull it off after.
Oh, yeah, and then
It's
spray
good
or
for
airbrush.
stencils, yes.
Huh? Ooh,
Oh.
I like that. I hate harsh lighting.
Yeah, so one thing we did, because we got to build it out, harsh light does affect a lot of our members. So most of the rooms
Great.
outside of the industrial arts room will have 2 sets of lighting. So we have kind of a mood lighting and then a task lighting in each space. And this is what our electrician lovingly calls our Sputnik light.
I love that.
I'm a fan. That's cool.
Very 60s, I think.
So the reason that this is called the Hackatorium and the night we're meeting here is called Hack Night is because we actually come out of a movement of hacker spaces. We call ourselves a makerspace, but hacking is a word that's been unfortunately co-opted. But what it really means is to take something apart and make it do something it wasn't originally intended to do. So hacking is about exploration, and people really took that culture into computers, and then later some of those individuals got into trouble, and that's where the word
Computer hack.
got kind of co-opted as a negative thing. But we really kind of celebrate hacking in the more benign way. And a lot of our members do kind of hack on computers, but it's really to make them do stuff for themselves, not to harm somebody or...
Right. When I hear hack, I'm like...
Yeah, and it is, and it's one of the reasons we call ourselves a makerspace, but we are rooted in the hacker culture that came out of Germany in the 80s. The Chaos Computer Club was one of the first kind of hacker spaces that bore out this entire movement around the world.
Huh. What's it called again? Sorry?
The Chaos Computer Club. And every 4 years they have the Chaos Communications Camp, and that's where the first maker spaces in North America came from. Was they went to that camp, they came back, and they created the first 5 hacker spaces in North America that later led to these ones.
Really cool.
So it is a larger movement, but we're completely separate. There's no central body or organization that runs them.
Yeah. This is so neat. I'm just taking it all in. Ooh, cool bag. Okay. Where's the next?
Well, I guess we'll go from there to, you did mention crafting some snacks.
Oh, yeah, you do have coffee.
We've got coffee and the microwave. We always say that the coffee maker is probably the most important tool in a makerspace.
Oh, yeah.
It keeps some late night hacking sessions going. So,
What if someone likes to drink a beer?
So
can they bring a beer
you're
here?
more than welcome to have a beer or maybe a couple of beers. The one thing that we ask is that they don't use any power tools, dangerous tools,
Smart.
or have any negative behavior associated with it. If somebody's coming here and over imbibing, they'll probably be asked not to do it again or to leave.
Yeah.
But it's certainly a space where we have, over the years, welcomed somebody to have a beer or two.
Just
we've
kind
also
of
done
yeah.
different parties and stuff as well at the old space, and hopefully we'll do that again here at the new space. And we had a birthday party here for one of our.
Happy birthday!
It was a month ago.
Oh.
Thank you.
After our grand opening.
Yeah, after our grand opening. Our grand opening was the day after my birthday, and so that evening we did like a members only party, and then I was surprised with the birthday cake as well, which was really
Cute.
sweet. Yeah.
Really sweet, literally.
Yes, quite literally, yeah.
What's this?
Delicious.
What's this thing behind you?
This here?
Yeah.
This
Oh.
is a 3D printer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do they all look like that? I thought I've seen one that looked different.
Yeah, I think there's different looking ones. I'll let you take this. You're the 3D printer guy.
Oh.
They come in all different shapes and sizes. So this is what's called an FDM printer. So basically it's just a hot glue gun controlled by a computer. So a robotic hot glue gun, and it will just draw layer by layer by layer your file.
Can you make Beyond Burger meat?
So we had a member. So we've had over 50 3D printers made at the Kamloops Maker Space.
You can make 3D printers
make 3D
from a
printers.
3D printer?
Yes, so it's called printing it forward. So you'll see most of the components on here are 3D printed. Even the components on this cabinet are 3D printed. So a lot of members will print parts for other members to build a printer. There's also different styles of the machinery that runs it. So people will experiment with Delta ones that have 3 rods that kind of swing it around. There's resin printers that instead of a plastic filament, they use a resin and they use UV light to cure it in different layers. So there's many different flavors of 3D printers. But one of my most exciting ones that were built here over the years is there was, I think she was a 15 or 16-year-old girl made a bioprinter where she could actually print in biomass.
No way.
It was a really neat printer. So she was experimenting with microbiology and 3D printers. Some of the kids that come in here will just blow your mind with how smart they are and how creative they are.
Yeah, it's hard not to be inspired by other people's creativity.
One of our members, I don't know if you could, you could probably show a side profile, 3D scanned his brother with an Xbox Kinect and
no way.
3D
That's
printed
cool.
his brother.
So that's resin?
No, that is PLA. It's actually a corn-based plastic.
So you can eat it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you want to.
We landed on the same thing.
They do make chocolate printers.
Oh,
You
there
can 3D
go.
print in chocolate, and
You should get that. Were you going to get that?
I don't know if I would ever use it, but they make one that is made
You don't
out
know if
of,
you'll ever use it. Everyone's going to use
no,
it.
Sorry, I was talking about different. They make a beef filament that you can print beef.
I would
I
try
don't-
printed beef for sure.
But how? I don't want to know how.
No.
Like, how do you get the beef part?
Is it cooked?
No, it's. I really don't remember the specifics of it. I remember seeing a video on it a while back, but
Sounds like
they
a-
call it a cursed filament because it's not something you really want to print with.
Oh yeah, camera's just staring at us. Well, what about this thing?
Did you want to do that one?
Well, this is a thermoforming center machine. I've never used it, and I haven't actually seen anyone else use it, but I know it makes molds. You can make soaps and like little mold for chocolates too.
Like dentures?
Maybe. Do you want to print multiple of the same dentures?
So it will do.
Maybe. You have a meat printer, like, come on. Might as well make...
Printer, bone,
Oh,
It'll do
neat!
vacuum forming. So you create something 3D printed or made out of clay, and you put it in here, heat it up, and you put plastic over it and suck all the air out, and then it would make a plastic mold like that. So this was actually some chocolate someone made.
and then you could like press beef into that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then you could have a beef scorpion.
But this will also do injection molding, blow molding, plastic welding, all different processes for plastics.
How much do you think this machine costs?
Probably an obscene amount of money back in the day. I believe
It looks old, like from the 80s.
I believe it belonged to the university at one point, and then a local company bought it and then donated it to us. But it's really meant to train people on all the different plastics processes. So it's a good little machine for our purpose here.
Wow. Yeah. I don't know if I would use that one. It's a little scary.
It's
But yeah-
basically a big oven.
Oh, okay.
So you heat the plastic up, and then you do different things with the hot plastic. Behind us is the ventilated room, so it's really for anything that smells. So if somebody is painting a project, or if they're doing a glue, like a really smelly glue, or anything like that, they would.
Is it ventilated?
It is ventilated. Yes.
I'm a safety
there's-
nerd.
And there's heat lamps as well, so it's vented
Cool.
and heated.
Okay.
We had somebody making some really cool fishing lures in there, so he masked up and did some lead casting in there, as well as painting them and everything. So it's just anything that might disrupt the rest of the space can happen in there.
Do a lot of people make items here to sell, or is it more just whatever?
We're mostly hobbyists. I think a lot of our members dabble in like selling their stuff, but we're not really geared for like commercial stuff, for like production. I think it's happened in the past at the space, but
not meant for that.
It's not meant for that. And
Yeah.
there are some maker spaces and some fab labs that are meant for that.
Yeah.
But the membership is usually in the like $400, $500 price range per month. And then you're also paying for like anytime you use a laser, you're paying for that. Anytime you use the equipment, you're
Right.
paying more for that. So it's just a very different setup.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
What are your hours of operation like?
So if you're a member, you can use the space 24/7.
Do you have like your own key kind of thing?
Yeah, you get your own little access. We will have fobs. Right now we have a door code.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then for public access, that's every Wednesday night. We do our open house that you're
okay.
here at now from 6 till 9.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, if you're a first timer and you want to check it out, come here on Wednesdays.
Or right now. 'Cause
Yeah.
we're live. They could be
Or come here now. Come here now. Grandma, I know you're watching. I know you live up in Sahali, but
Come hang out.
okay.
Yeah, it's interesting that a lot of our members have done commercial work here. It's kind of neat. A lot of people have gotten into something, prototyped it, and said, hey, I really do want to make a career out of this. So
That's
they bought
cool.
some of these tools and
Oh, yeah.
set up their own shop. So it's a great place to decide whether something is viable, but it doesn't scale as well here.
What was your latest woodworking project?
I'm actually working on a little music stand right now. So
Cool.
I have my own music studio. I'm a music teacher. That's what I do
Oh.
for my job. And then I got a keyboard recently that didn't have a music stand. And so I've been building one, but it's really cool. He gave me the idea to use some live edge. So it's got a really neat shape to it, and it'll fit perfectly. Again, it's custom for what I want it to be.
Oh, I'm so glad you guys met. That's perfect. Okay, let's go to the next room.
The wood
Right?
shop, I think.
Wood shop? Sure. Wood shop. Wood shop? Hello.
Wood shop.
Are you the wood shop man?
One of them.
Okay. What's your name?
Sorry, Andrew.
Andrew. Are you okay with being on camera?
Yes.
Okay. So, You're here a lot working in the shop?
I am, yeah. This is our sort of workshop industrial arts space. We sort of got it sealed off here for dust and noise because, we want to keep the rest of the space isolated. So when you're using things like the table saw, the miter saw, stuff like that, you're not disrupting these people as much as you would be as if everything was open.
Mm-hmm.
So trying to keep everything contained within here.
Yeah.
Mostly, you have things like woodworking.
Yeah.
But we also have space to do things for metal and plastics and like that.
Oh, in here you have.
Yep.
Oh, okay. That's.
We've got
Yeah.
a few things over here. But it's pretty much got all the tools you'd need for all sorts of woodworking.
Yeah.
Starting over here, you get a
Drill press. I knew that.
bandsaw,
Yeah.
sander, with disc and belt, just in the corner there. We've got a jointer for making boards flat and straight. We've got over here our wood lathe, actually newly donated.
Oh yeah. By
somebody.
who? Who donated it?
I'm trying to remember his name. I believe it was a gentleman named. I don't want to get his name wrong, but it was about a month ago now. And we've just been getting set up with this and starting to learn how to use it. Then obviously we've got the miter saw, the table saw, the most important tool in any wood shop.
Yes.
And over in the corner there, we have a computer-controlled router, a CNC, that you're able to program something in and then cut it out by just computer design.
Do you use this machine yourself?
I don't. We, again, just got it set up
Right.
before our grand opening, and I know one of our members, Torstens, has been working very hard to get everything with it going. And we're very excited about it and hoping to use it.
Sorry, can you explain what it does again?
Yeah, it's a CNC router. So you've got just a little blue router in the center there that has a spinning bit like a drill bit and a
Yeah.
cutter in it. And then this frame here is able to roll on those two axes all across these rails and raise the router up and down. So
Yeah.
that with a computer program you can draw any sort of design you want, load it into the machine, and then it'll cut that design out of whatever you put in there, plastic or wood, or things like that.
Or metal?
Potentially, depending on the sort of bit you're using in the metal.
Right.
This isn't, a full production metal CNC like you might see in a big shop, but it's mostly for stuff like wood or plastic on this scale.
Very cool. The old way of doing it, you would just use a stencil and then
Yes, yeah.
Like-
You'd be working off,
Yeah.
freehanding and things like that.
hurting yourself. You need your first aid kit then.
Yeah, but just like the laser cutter that I'm sure you'll see, it's,
Yeah?
gives
Yeah.
you a lot of freedom to design things, in the computer and then make them out here in the real world.
What's your favorite thing to do here?
Well, I think currently it would have to be the wood lathe.
Oh yeah, what are you working on?
At the minute, I'm mostly just learning how to use it.
Oh,
Like I said,
you're
just
just
newly
learning.
donated. I'd never turned on a lathe before.
Okay.
We're just, like I said, learning a little bit more about it and hoping to bring everybody up, in their space up to speed on it.
That's so
But,
cool.
Yeah.
What are you hoping to make? I made a fish bonker. What did I make it on the lathe? I think so, right?
Oh, yeah.
You'd make it on a lathe. Did you make a fish bonker in high school?
Oh, I don't think we had a lathe in high school.
Oh.
But no, but a couple things with it. I think it'd be nice actually, in combination with this router, to make a chess set. You can turn all the little pieces individually, and then with a router like this is perfect for flattening out board. You can make a checkerboard out of end grain wood, so maybe oak and wenge or something dark like that, and then you'd be able to turn all the pieces for a full set. Actually, if you guys want to come over here.
Sure, yeah. You want to play?
Sure. Actually,
Yeah?
like I said, and just in the process here, they're not exactly chess pieces, but this is the
You're
sort of
making
thing you
those?
can make something as small as this, something with a lot of little detail, or the lathe is big enough to handle something like this piece of Douglas fir, which started out, about 4.5 inches
Wow.
square.
Where do you get all the wood?
From all over. You're able to buy some of it, or especially with the community, there's always people who have wood that they're willing to sell or donate.
It's crazy how, I work on jobs. Well, I haven't in a while, but on job sites they throw out so much good material.
Oh yeah,
I
and
would
it's-
go hunting around some
absolutely. And there's
dumpster
always,
bins.
Yeah, and
If you
scrap,
can.
Yeah, and scrap wood like that is a great way to learn.
Yeah.
It's always usually a nice soft wood. It's perfect for practicing on this sort of stuff. We've got stuff like this. Cedar as well as a very nice soft wood. It's there before you want to get into a bit of a hardwood. But
What's this darker one? Cherry?
I believe this is mahogany.
Okay.
And then I have some oak, and then I think as well just some pine, beetle stained, sort of with the blue there.
Beetle stained?
Yeah, the pine beetle. When, when it affects the tree and it dies, they get this sort of staining pattern inside the wood.
Cool.
And so
if you had like to see it.
Yeah, that's, what do you, okay.
Of course. Well, yeah, so we've just got a piece of birch here. Sorry for the sound.
okay.
And yeah, so we're just going to mount it on a center just to drive it. Attach it into our lathe. So the lathe itself has the motor and the drive for the main unit, and then support on the other end, the tailstock. We'll just line that up with the center on the other side. Lock down the tailstock. Make sure the quill is tightened.
Make sure you tie your hair back.
Yes, I was going to say,
No jewelry, no
safety
no
first,
rings.
nothing loose around you, no loose hair, no loose clothing, because lathe does have, 3/4 of horsepower, but that's enough that you get something loose in there. It might catch, it might pull. You don't wanna take
I
that
remember
risk.
the safety videos in school.
So you want to make sure that your piece is able to spin, get your tool rest pretty
What?
close.
Sorry, what is this?
This is just your tool rest. So when you're lathing, you never freehand. You don't just want to be working out here with the tool, just, waving it around. You always want support.
I don't remember that.
Well,
Oops.
maybe they should have taught you that in high school. Because, again, like I said, this tool has a lot more horsepower than you do. And so if you just went in there trying to just, gouge away while it's spinning.
And you have to have it at the right angle too, right?
Yes.
Or
So,
it can catch and then hurt you.
Depending on how you're cutting and everything as well, you want to be able to adjust the height of the rest. So I think we'll set it about there. We want to get close, but not obviously close enough that you're going to hit it. Go about there. Lock the tool rest down.
Are you going to make something similar to this, or?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I think, and I'll do this quick enough, but there's a couple steps to, turning a piece of wood. You obviously it's good to start with a blank, something that is square, even on both sides, so that you're only going to remove a little bit of material. You're going to take the corners off and then turn it round into a cylinder, and then from there you can start shaping it as a piece. So, might be just a little, it's not that loud.
It's not that
So,
loud. Plug your ears, guys. Or I could just move the microphone.
Yeah, microphone, yeah.
But, so
But no, right in there until the audience can plug their ears.
we're all clear there, so we can turn on the lathe. Our piece is spinning. And we're ready to turn.
Okay. It's not too loud.
Not even thinking.
So like I said, you're just taking the corners off. So if we set up the lathe, you can see we're just starting to take off the corners here.
Yeah.
I might just tighten that down just a little
Yeah.
bit. You saw a step there. But again, it's supported on both sides.
What kind of wood is this again?
Birch,
Birch.
fairly hard.
Oh, it is. Okay.
So don't go too fast or too hard. Get there. As you go in, you can feel the tool. Still not quite round.
Oh, okay. So did someone teach you this, or did you just figure it out on your own?
I saw a few demos, but mostly, especially these days with YouTube and the rest of the internet,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
it's
YouTube's
fairly easy to
great.
pick up stuff like this.
Yeah.
So we'll just do the corner here. We're almost there. Totally, you can see now, right in the corner here, we've got it down to round.
Cool.
And so from here, you'll be able to start really shaping it.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about the edges skipping every time you go.
Yeah.
And then from here, this will be where you start actually shaping the piece. Yeah. I don't know if you want to go much further.
I don't know. I'm just here for the ride. What's this thing?
That is a sharpener. It's just a big.
Oh,
Yeah.
To sharpen these.
It's
guys,
just a big
right?
grinding wheel that spins away, cooled by water underneath.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
You can just set up a rest and then turn the angle of your tool so you're able to sharpen it out to a nice fine point. And so you're able to cut the wood and not just scrape it.
My dad makes knife handles out of various materials.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of neat to see him do it. But he's made, yeah, I guess it's not quite wood. I don't know what I'm saying. It's just, I think he needs to come here.
I think it should. Yeah. Making tool handles is a great thing you can do in the lathe.
Yeah.
Over time, if you're not satisfied with the handle itself, you don't feel you've got a good grip or the right size on it, you can just take out all the metal components and then, on this lathe, shape, yourself a new handle and reinstall everything.
So
for knives,
handy.
for tools like this, screwdrivers, chisels,
Yeah.
just about whatever you're looking for.
So are you the type of person that doesn't really get rid of things, like you're one to fix something before getting rid of something?
Yes.
Yeah,
It's,
me too.
And, half the fun sometimes is in fixing stuff like this.
Yeah, I love broken stuff.
Yeah.
I love junk.
I know we've had a few tools in here that have needed a lot of love over the years.
There you go, yeah.
And part of it I think has been just being able to tear them apart, see how they work and get
Yeah.
them back into working order.
Heck it.
Yeah, exactly. But it's been a lot of
Cool.
fun.
Yeah. What are you hoping to make one day? Oh, besides the chessboard, furniture.
For myself, furniture would be nice.
Yeah? A table?
Down the road, a table. I've made one little table.
Oh.
For myself so far.
Cool.
But a set of bookshelves I think would be really nice.
Yeah.
Obviously, in this space, you can't be working with something too large.
That's true. Like an
can you
armoire or
design it?
anything.
Not like a full 4-poster bed or anything like that.
Right.
But there's a
Cool.
lot of things. And again, part of it is just the process itself. It's just fun woodworking.
Yeah.
Whether or not you make something at the end of the day, you've still done something.
Yeah.
It's half the fun.
Yeah. Even if you screw up, it's still fun. Actually, I don't know.
It depends sometimes.
Depends on how bad
Depends
it
on
is.
that. Yeah, exactly.
When I paint and I screw up on my painting, it can really turn me into a mean person.
What did Bob Ross call them? Happy little accident?
Yeah, no, never happy. It was never.
Sometimes they're grumpy little
They're
assholes.
grumpy.
I did pull it off there and had a chat with him.
Do you want to talk? I'm talking all the time, man.
It's all good. You're great at it. Doing a spectacular job.
All right. Do you want to show us what you're made of?
Flesh and bones.
What is this big machine?
This is our...
First of all, what is your name?
My name's Brad Jerome.
Oh, I talked to you in Messenger.
Yes.
Yes. Hi, Brad. And this is?
This is our laser cutter.
Cool.
So this thing will cut woods, acrylic, cardboard, paper, fabric, crepes. That was crepes they cut, wasn't it?
Crepes, we've done a pancake, crepes, and a burrito.
Like cut into a burrito?
Engraved.
Engraved a burrito.
Yeah. But one of my favorite media calls I ever got out of the blue, somebody called me, they said, we're from a such and such media outlet, we're calling about laser burritos, with zero other context. Just, hi, we heard you were the guy to talk to about laser burritos. So I'm on Facebook going, it must be Makerspace. I pull up a picture of this beautiful scroll work etched into a burrito. It's quite nice. So it'll etch just about anything.
Yeah. Just
Weird.
anything that's good to etch.
What's this, a lion? What's this thing?
Yeah.
Can we look at it? Did you make that?
No.
Oh. Oh my freaking God, you guys. Look at the detail. So this was done with the laser?
Yeah. One of our old members did it.
Wow.
Grant, who did it? Oh, Grant did it?
Oh.
Then a current member did it. Doesn't say on the back.
And that's wood.
That's wood. That's Baltic birch plywood.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah. And then paper.
Cool.
I don't even know what it says.
I don't either. It's probably...
Oh, it looks like it's from Lord of the Rings, probably.
There you go. It probably
Elvish.
is.
Wow. Okay, Brad, but what do you do? What do you make?
What do I make?
Yeah.
I make wooden truck models.
Do you?
Yeah. I don't have any of them here.
Ah.
I have parts of some probably in my car. I'm building a sign for
Yeah?
my RV out at the lake.
Cool.
At some point in time, I'll finish it. I just
Yeah.
started building it today, so.
Are you a new member, or were you at the old space?
I was at the old space. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been around for 7 years, 8 years.
Yeah.
Long enough to annoy Nicholas, but not that long.
You didn't.
That when I left, he became chair, so
Yes.
he was stuck in charge.
Yeah. Then I pawned it off on Bailey. So that was perfect.
So what brought you out initially?
A friend of mine sent me a Facebook post a long time ago, or another post a long time ago, I can't even remember. And we went down to the open house, looked around. First started with vinyl decals, playing with those, and then saw the laser and then started on that. And then also took a pottery class quite a while ago.
What did you make?
I made a bowl, jewelry holder, a lot of messes, and that was about it.
Yeah.
But it was fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
What's your most favorite project you've made here at the Makerspace?
Favorite project, I used part of the Makerspace to make with the laser. I built a wooden truck model with a friend of mine to donate to Children's Hospital.
Oh.
So it was her idea, and then I built it. But
Was
I got
it-
way too carried away.
Is it the size of like a Tonka truck, or how large are these?
The tractor on it was about 1.5 feet.
Pretty
and then
good.
the trailer was 4 feet. So very detailed. All the wheels were detailed.
Painted it and
Nope, all
Oh.
natural wood and everything.
was it etched in like with all detailed, kind of like that lion? I mean,
Not-
different design,
not
but
that detailed,
but
yeah.
it had
Yeah.
okay. Oh,
Yeah.
cool! I wish we need to see it. Huh? I definitely want to join. This is neat. How many members are?
I think we currently have around 25 members. Yeah.
Is there a limit?
There is not. The more the merrier, because we are mostly funded by membership, donations, and sponsorships. So the more we can have members, the more we can develop out our offerings here, as well as pay the rent and everything else that we need to keep it running.
Yeah. What is this thing?
So this is our electronics. This is our electronics bench. So
Oh.
we talked about robotics or making 3D printers or a variety of other electronics projects. One of my favorite here is actually Bailey and I did a workshop on making your own synthesizer. So you'd make your own circuit board, and then you played it with light to actually
What?
make sounds. So it was a really neat project. So we've got soldering stations. This is hot air stations for doing the surface mount electronics. We got oscilloscopes and other test equipment. And then all the parts you could possibly imagine here for doing a variety of different electronics.
This kind of looks like a thrift store to me right now.
It can. The old Makerspace looked a lot more like a thrift store. We had
Yeah.
so much. Actually, one of
But
the
it's
cool
cool.
things is you'll see a lot of random appliances and stuff around.
Yeah.
And we encourage people, kids absolutely love it, come and take something apart, use the parts for other things. So most of those parts ended up in these bins. So if somebody needs a random gear for something, they can pull a gear out or any other part that's commonly in them. And like I said, my mom said, you know, if this existed when you were a kid, kids absolutely love just getting in there with a screwdriver and tearing something apart.
Yeah.
And then adults like to use those parts and make some cool stuff out of it. Robots. A lot of the time, they'll just take little bits and glue it to something and make art with it too.
I did it with like Barbies. I would take their like their heads off and put it on other bodies. But that's different.
We had one member who took Barbie faces, and she had like a bouquet of fake daisies, and each one had a Barbie face in there. And then another one of our members took a whole bunch of like baby dolls and made a larger doll with the doll parts. All the teeth were toes, and it was horrendous. Another
I
member
love it. That'd
would
be good in the
always-
haunted house.
It was part of the haunted house.
Oh, was
so,
it?
yes.
So do you need help building the haunted house this year?
So we currently, we haven't done the haunted house since COVID. I'm contemplating getting back into it.
Do it.
But I'm hoping to. However, a lot of our members are involved in Whoville, Kamloops. I don't know if you've heard of that.
Tell us.
So Whoville started when I built a Dr. Seuss treehouse for my mom. She claims it was for my niece, but it's definitely for my mom. And my parents loved it so much, they built the rest of Whoville around it. So cutouts of all the different Who characters and the big Christmas tree that's bent over and all the other buildings. And they would do their whole yard up like this. And the neighbors said, hey, you should open this up to the public. And it got open to the public. It was so popular, it outgrew their yard. So it spent the last 2 years at the Powwow Arbor on to Kamloops. And we raise books and money for children's literacy.
That's very
It's really
awesome.
part of the maker culture. So I very aptly play the Grinch. My mother is the First Lady of Whoville. My dad is the Mayor of Whoville. And Bailey is our Cindy Lou Who.
Oh, you guys are so cute. Ah.
So that's why the haunted house being close to it is going to be a lot.
Wouldn't it be neat to do both?
We've
Yeah.
talked about it.
Really?
We've talked.
That would be kind of neat.
And we've talked about doing more of just a haunted makerspace or an escape room or something here. And it's just a matter of people making the time. The thing with this many creative people in one place is we have a lot of ideas and very little time.
See, that's the frustrating thing. Whoa, I lost my voice. Getting a bunch of creative people, even though they're your friends and you love them, but when everyone has really good ideas, but like everyone wants their own idea to like,
and most
it's
of
hard.
us have some form of executive function disorder. So we
Meaning what?
Well, we have
think I
a
know.
terminology here called Simpsons carring something. So somebody comes up and says, there's this really important thing we should do. And they're like, yes, but it needs this feature. And then it needs this feature. And then it needs this feature. Now
Yeah.
it's doing a completely different thing.
Yeah.
And we got to build 4 tools to build the tool. So we often go, hold up, you're building Simpsons car here. Let's go back and simplify this a little.
That's funny. Huh. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I'm just blown away. It's so neat. It looks like the place is filling up a bit with. Or are these members as well? Are they new
We
people?
have a variety of both members and the general public just dropping in to come and check it out. We have a lot of members who they can't quite justify a membership. It's $80 a month. It's a lot cheaper than having these things in your home, but if you're not going to use it every day. So a lot of those members will drop in on a Wednesday, and donations are always welcome as well if they're using it a lot.
Okay.
One day a week they can come in and sort of
Tinker
on their whatever they're working
a lot
on.
of people just bring in what they're making at home, what they're passionate about. We have a lot of sewers. Bailey and I are both sewers, and we don't do a lot of it here, but we might bring it in and be like, here's something we made this week.
Right.
So it is kind of adult show and tell.
I'm just trying to think of how you can collaborate with. Like, I know you can make wood with metal, like a knife, metal blade with wood handle. What other things can we combine here? Like these two machines sort of work together. I don't know. It just seems like
Well, presumably you could make a knife out of meat.
Or 4.
you can. I don't want to. That's
That you 3D print. So you never know what people are going to combine with things.
Yeah.
A lot of the time people will put vinyl cut stickers on something that they laser cut. We had one of our members make what's called a MAME cabinet. It's a multi-arcade machine emulator, and it has a ton of different old arcade games on it. So he did all the
I know
electronics.
what he's talking about. Yeah.
He did all the electronics and everything, of course, in our electronics area. And then he made the case for it on the laser cutter. And then another member was just so enthralled with this, he laser etched a really cool piece of acrylic and then put a vinyl cut sticker for the marquee on the top of the MAME cabinet. So
That's pretty cool.
we used to bring it to a lot of events. It had about 3,000 different classic arcade games on it. You could do 2-player and play Pac-Man the whole 9 yards on
Oh,
it. It was a lot of
wow.
fun.
Fun.
And then, of course, the woodworking and the laser get along really well.
Yeah.
A lot of members will laser etch. Bailey talked about the music stand she's building, but she's going to be etching the logo of her music school in that on this tool as well.
That
So
would look really nice. And then will she stain it?
I think she's planning on doing a kind of medium stain on that.
Is there like anything that you have, like a personal favorite that you've seen come through here that somebody made that you were like, oh my god, that's so neat?
Oh, you're talking. Oh, my turn.
I'm done now.
Oh man,
Todd's shy
there's
today.
so many. It's like picking your favorite kid. I think my favorites are more the relationships that have built here, the friendships that have built here. Like we've had members move away and then other members fly across the country to see them. We've had mentorships and relationships. Those are kind of my favorite that has come out of here. But as far as stuff, we've had the neatest things. The guy who made that multi-arcade machine, he made a sonic levitator. So he used little piezo speakers in a 3D printed cone, and you could put pieces of styrofoam, and ultrasonic sound would make it hover in the middle. He also made using old CD drives from computers, made a little pen bot that could draw on a Post-it note. So you'd just draw it on the computer and it would draw it out with a pen on the Post-it note.
Wow.
That was probably one of my favorites as
The way the
well.
laser would be able to...
Yeah, just the stepper motors that ran the lasers. And it was just, he did a 24-hour all-nighter and got it built. And one of my favorite things to say about him and all the amazing things that he's built is he's a butcher by trade. A lot of people see electronics and they go, oh, it's really complicated. It's really not. It's a lot more approachable if you're willing to try and fail and experiment with it. Let the magical blue smoke that makes electronics work out of it a few times.
Are older electronics easier to rip apart and...
Absolutely. The new
Understand?
stuff is actually kind of boring. It's all surface mount and it's a lot more digital. The old analog stuff is a lot easier to play around with and learn how it works and experiment with. And we have a combination of old and new, but what's cool with the hobbyist market now is they've got things like Arduinos, which are microcontrollers that used to be very expensive and you needed special tools. Arduino was actually created by artists who said, hey, we want to be able to control mechanical things or lights in our projects. So it made it a lot more accessible for anybody to make a project that used electronics. And then I talked a little bit about people kind of hacking the Makerspace. One of our members, who is an electrician, worked on automating our whole room here. So we've got ventilation systems and chiller and various stuff that runs this room, and it is all controlled through that. So that's a lot of the type of work that our members can do.
He definitely earned his membership here.
Yeah, that's a tangle of cables.
So that actually runs everything in this room, and I know he's...
This is the cleanest window I've ever seen.
We can do a quick launch. Do whatever you want. Do you know where that file is, Brad? What? The KM one. Anyway, I'll find it after. You can wander and we'll show you the laser cutter in action.
Are you telling us to go away now?
No, I'll
We've only got about 2 minutes
it.
left.
Oh, do we? Oh, we only
okay.
have... Okay. Well, who's this other guy? I saw a couple other guys. Does anyone else want to hang out?
Torn might be interested. I'll go see if he's interested in showing you the CNC router.
Or Bailey.
He's been putting that together.
I miss Bailey. Where's Bailey?
Right here. A lot of them.
Hi. We have about a couple minutes left. I know. It's yeah. So if you guys, are you guys okay with being on camera? Okay. But yeah, if you have anything you want to like wrap up and just say, yeah, this is the time. You could say hi to your parents.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. Yeah.
What's statement? Huge statement?
But yeah, this is just the place is actually filling up. It looks like are these new members coming in, or?
It's a mixture for sure. So
Yeah.
we've got some people visiting, some people, old members stopping by, and yeah, it's a good mixture, which is exciting. That's kind
Nice.
of what we were hoping for
Yeah.
when we moved to the new location, was to bring back that energy. So it's
Yeah.
cool to see people coming back.
Is the location better for like traffic? Like just get people here? Is it better?
Certainly is this week.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I know, construction
yeah,
everywhere.
yeah, yeah.
It's too bad.
I don't know if it's so much like the traffic, but just, you know, the excitement of the new space. And
Yeah.
I think it's just very location based too. Like a
Yeah,
lot
I
of
like it.
people like who live on the North Shore have gotten memberships now because now
Yeah.
it's like, oh, I can walk here. It's a lot
Yeah.
more convenient for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a good location, personally. It's right next to the casino.
Yeah.
So if you lose a lot of money, just come here and
make more.
make money.
Laser print your
Laser print your own
bills.
money.
Wooden money.
Yes.
Wooden money, yeah. Who else wants to talk before I say goodbye?
File ready to go on laser here.
Oh, okay. All right. Show and tell. All right. Okay. Who's
I don't know if it's going to work. Okay, it's going to work.
Why isn't it action laser?
Because it just framed it.
Oh. Try again.
Good thing Nicholas is here.
Yes, who else would push those buttons?
It's okay. No pressure or anything.
I feel no pressure.
Good. I hope you don't. Things happen.
It does.
How old is this machine, by the way?
About 7 years. There we go. There we go.
This machine's 7 years old?
Yes.
Oh. It looks like it's from the 80s to me.
They still make these machines like this brand
wasn't
new.
that long ago.
Thank you. I feel better now. You're right.
I was around for 3 months of it.
Those were a terrible 3 months.
So that's just paper.
That's,
that is-
that's the
Or
plywood.
that's wood.
Yeah. That's the
It
same
looks
as
like
this.
paper from here, but that's. So how thick is that wood?
6 millimeters. Quarter inch.
And it'll cut right through.
Yep.
Are you trying to make it cut through
Yep.
right now? Okay.
Yeah, it'll end up looking like that.
Oh, okay. Neat.
That's just a smaller, thinner version.
Oh. Wow.
So it's got a glass tube in the back that we arc about 60,000 volts across, and that excites the ions, which creates the laser beam, and it bounces off of 3 mirrors and goes through a lens. And then this walks around the same way a 3D printer would, and just moves those mirrors to make a cut.
They should make a perfume with this smell. I'm a smeller.
After a
I
couple
like.
hours of being in here, you get this
Yeah.
what it smell like.
So cool.
All right.
That didn't take long at all. Cool.
Look at that even came off.
Is it hot?
Nope.
Oh! Kamloops Makers. Right? Is that what it is? Who designed the logo?
So when we got started, we actually came out of the Innovation Center. They did a hack night, which you're at now.
Right.
I think it's about 14 years old, that event. We still do it today. And we talked about starting a Makerspace, myself and the co-founder. We partnered with some other people to create Mod Lab, and that fell apart. Somebody else was trying to create a Makerspace, and she had built all of the logos and everything. but didn't have the community. We had a community and no logo or name, and so we came together, and that's how Kamloops Maker Space was born.
Cool. That's the gist of the Makerspace. You come together with other random people and
Our
make
first,
magic.
Motto was 2 rivers, many hands.
Do you want to say hi to your mom and dad?
Well, Mom's here.
Oh. Right. How about?
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad.
I think we're done.
Okay.
Okay, come to the Makerspace. What's the address?
We are at 1140C Halston Avenue. We're between. No, I can't say that. It's Brands.
Oh, you can't say that. Also, the times. So Hack Night on Wednesdays goes from
6 to 9 or 6 till somebody kicks you out.
okay 6 till whenever you're kicked out. Cool.